cold. Okay, first of many. Guess it's a vlog. I don't know. I don't know how any of this stuff technically works, but it's just to get the thoughts out and ideas out, so I'm not always spewing them. Try and clear out the head every morning and give the dog some exercise. Hey, she's my dog apple. She's a cutie. She's very excited. This is her favorite thing. Nice long walk. It is very cold this morning. 30 something, which I know it's not that cold for some places, but it's only October, so hitting 30 already is kind of oof. It'll get up probably to 60 today, 70 today sometimes. It's really annoying. On the sinuses anyway. It's rough on mine. The construction crews are out. Doing something. Sometimes when we get for our walks and the crews are out, so get headed. Kind of cold and they're kind of busy this month. So, anyway, had an idea. I don't know when I'll be able to start it. So it'll take some time to get it off the ground. But I used to do Dungeons and Dragons stuff when I was younger. I got a wife and kids, so I don't usually have time for all that. But when I was younger, I did a lot of content and kind of brainstorming ideas for just a campaign to do for fun, not so much that I'd have any players. So I don't have any time to run a campaign. Just something to work on in free time, sort of a standalone campaign for somebody else maybe to run. Campaign module or whatever they're called. But the idea behind it would be to have someone else go through it. When you start off as a very low level character, and the goal is to sort of become the best version of yourself and put the person in situations where they have to make the right choice morally and ethically and all that, and see if they rise or if they fall kind of thing, because that's sort of what I'm going through in my life, and hopefully it would be cathartic, but maybe it would help other people too. That was the idea, and the thought was to start them in a very small scenario area, and then have the area grow, have them explore. I was always a breadcrumb guy when I played as the DM. I would let the players make their own decisions, but leave them the breadcrumb trail to follow. Most of the time people picked up on it and would see what I was trying to do and want to adventure in the direction that I was gently leading them, though you always had the wild cards who would just go off script, but most of the time people would get that you were trying to do something fun and want to play along. The good players, anyway. The players who are the most annoying are the ones who would always do the opposite of whatever it was that you were trying to breadcrumb them to do. Never liked playing with those guys. It can be fun. You have to improvise and adapt a lot, but I was always the type where if you made a goofball decision like that, I would just shift the story. Be like, okay, well, all those encounters I planned, all that stuff, that's just going to happen in a slightly different way based on your choices. That way, the player still gets to make, choices. Oh, I want to go to the lake. Well, okay. I had a mountain encounter with, mountain monsters, but hey, you want to go to the lake? Well, you're at the lake and you hear sounds coming from the mountains. You just, they see a dragon in the reflection of the lake flying over the mountain. Oh, shoot, I want to go check that out. There's that sort of thing. But anyway, that was the idea I had yesterday, because I realized I haven't had a creative outlet since I stopped playing, because, you find a wife, you get kids, you get a life going, your career moves in, whatever direction it moves in. And shoot, I've been doing the same damn thing for 17 years now. 18 years coming on. I'm gonna be doing the same thing for a long time now. And I'm not gonna say I'm getting tired of it necessarily, but I am tired of it, but at the same, it's not so much that as I'm burnt out of it. I could be enjoying doing it still if it hadn't kind of gone the direction it's been. And I'm in IT, and doing computer support has become a lot less fun in recent years. Thanks to just the changes to the way people use computers, changes to the way that they're supported, changes to the way that they're being developed. Gone are the days of XP or Windows 7 where things made sense. You could kind of, you're like, wow, the menu is here and it's organized this way, and people would be like, oh, that makes sense, it's, and you could see where the developers were going with it. You're like, okay, I like this. This is, it's organized in a way that is, familiar, and, you could use metaphors that, were a reflection on people's non-technical life. A hard drive is a bookshelf, and memory is a desk, and you take the book off the shelf, you put it on the desk to read it, and you put it back on the shelf when you're done with it. That type of metaphor works really well with the way computers used to work. Now everything syncs to the cloud, and it's like, well, the hard drive might be a bookshelf, but every time you put the book back on the shelf, it syncs to the cloud. It's just like, well, that's just, I don't know, like, every time you put it back on the shelf, some monk goes and transcribes a copy of it and stores it. I don't know, like, you can't use the same, fun metaphors anymore, because they don't really work, because everything keeps getting redesigned in ways that are a lot more confusing than they used to be, and not as much fun. So, yeah. I used to get some of my creative outlet and creative thinking with work. I would think about creative ways to try and solve problems, or find solutions for businesses and individuals. And you just don't really get to do that anymore. Like there's like 5 different ways to do things, and they all suck now. That's how it feels. And maybe that's the burnout talking, but I don't really enjoy the fiddling, the tinkering, the playing with IT anymore. That stuff isn't fun anymore. And I don't know if it's me or if it's the IT or what. I think it's a combination. Like, the way it's designed is less fun, but I'm also just having less fun with it. So I need something else to make those creative juices flow and get my ideas out. And not spend so much time yammering and droning and talking my wife's ear off and annoying her, which is what I end up doing when I don't have any sort of creative outlet to get everything out. So for now, this is talking to YouTube on my phone while I give the dog a nice little walk. That's going to be the the new method for now. And then hopefully I'll talk out whatever ideas I have for the campaign here. And then yeah, maybe 1 or 2 evenings a week I can start hammering some of the details out and designing it. Maybe I'll release it. Who knows? Obviously that's a long way away, but it's a bitter cold morning and I'm talking to a phone and my dog looks for a spot to take a shit. Anyways, this was fun for the first time, I guess. Hopefully it's interesting to somebody other than me. And we'll see. This was video 1, awkward, jumpy, scatterbrained, but still feels good to get it out. So, yeah, and hopefully it reaches somebody's ears who's interested, and I'll see you next time.